Okay. I'm starting recording now, so you'll get the recording. Thanks. So basically, I just have to. Should I keep focusing? Let's do that for the like this will take 30 minutes. Okay, give me 30 minutes. Just understand this, and then we go back. Let's just be focused here for a bit. Okay. Um, yeah, let's just be focused here. Like if you have any question related to this, then only ask, and then after once this is done, then we'll go back and we'll do a complete career guidance of each and every one of you. There's not that many of you in this session. Okay. But let's focus on this for now on. Okay, so you have a user ID. So if this was a DSA problem, right, that's how we would be doing this, right, as a DSA problem. But like in Redis,
Oh,
we yeah,
can I say something, Ramesh?
yeah, yeah.
One question. So, for the sorting of the values, in the case of this question, if it was a DSA problem, like if the interviewer says that we have to implement this, so how would the sorting logic work? I thought of a priority queue solution, which would
Okay.
update itself. But in terms of sorting, like I didn't get the sorting part because Redis, which you told Redis thing, if you know about it, you know about it. If you
Yeah,
don't know about it, you don't know about it, right? So Redis is the right answer. I get your point. But in the case we do not know Redis, maybe like we would have to handle the sorting by ourselves, right?
no, you don't have to handle the major issue with this problem is it's
Mm-hmm.
trivia. Okay, so like we a lot of times we say, right, that these are these problems that you are getting, and like in lead code also you have these problems, right? The interviewer gives you a lead code hard problem and you cannot solve it in the interview if you haven't faced it before, because he wants you to give a
Mm-hmm.
solution immediately. This is the same thing for system design as well. Okay, so I'll
Okay.
I'll tell you a kind of problem that you have in system design, right? Think of you know Kafka, right? Kafka is more,
Mm-hmm.
90% people know Kafka as a message queue, but Kafka has other
Mm-hmm.
use cases also, right? Kafka is used
Mm-hmm.
for stream processing, right? When you're processing
Mm-hmm.
large amount of data, it's going through a stream. Kafka is used for that also. And now
Mm-hmm.
think of it, if you're asked to design something like let's say Google Docs or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, right? There are
Mm-hmm.
these solutions, right? Google Drive, right? So there are these
Mm-hmm.
solutions like Apache Spark, Apache Flink, which are used for these kind of
Mm-hmm.
solutions, right? If
Mm-hmm.
now if you don't know Apache Spark or Flink, like these
Mm-hmm.
streaming solutions, so what will
Mm.
you do?
Okay, so like, I get your opinion. It's like, for example, if you get a segmentary question, you have to know segmentary, or else there is no other way around it. So same for this for Redis sorted, right?
There is, you can give your solution, you can intuitively
But it
think
won't be the
and
optimal one, right?
it won't be the best solution. You can think of a
Mm-hmm.
Redis solution. Like I remember when I got this question, I've got this multiple times, right? What
Mm-hmm.
I did was I implemented this by myself. I used Redis with timestamp and stuff like that. There are
Mm-hmm.
ways that you can go around this question and solve it. It's not going to be a
Mm-hmm.
good solution because also if you see, right, um, if you see Rockset, right, Rockset built this, and they have also built this thing like Rockset for just for streaming purposes, right? So there's a podcast on, I think Arpit
Mm-hmm.
Bhai made a video on it already, that how Rockset handles this real time streaming system. But again, the major issue with system design, right, is what I have understood by studying system design. So like I've literally gone through hundreds of podcasts for system design before I started
Mm-hmm.
sharing. What I have understood is there is a lot of trivia here also. A lot of reasons why
Mm-hmm.
people are failing system design is because it's trivia questions, right? You don't know all the
Mm-hmm.
components, and they're asking you things based on those components, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the solution there is just have a surface level understanding of everything. You don't need to know in deep what Hadoop is, but if someone is asking you Hadoop, you should know that, right? So
Okay.
just the name, one paragraph definition. Okay, that's not too
Mm-hmm.
much, but yeah,
Got it.
that's the basic thing. So in Redis we are going to have this, have this solution that deals with it, which is basically what this does is, if I go down to the sorted set, it's first of all you're going to add it like this. Whenever someone is getting a new score, you're going to add it 10, 12, whatever, and then you want to get the leaderboard, top 10 leaderboard. You do this. You want to get the score of a user, right? You do this. So it's basically like becoming like a very simple answer, like a Postgres query or something like that,
Mm.
right? So
Okay.
we basically have this, right? We have a data collection service. Now let's think of it. Then we have a leaderboard generation service, right? And just knowing this, you will see that this problem is literally nothing if you know Redis sorted set or any other leaderboard generation set, right? If you don't know, it's a very tricky question. So leaderboard generation service, right? And that's also one of the reason why I picked this question, because if you go to lead code and see, you will see this question has been asked so many times, and it's a trivia question. So
Mm-hmm.
this is also shows that
Mm-hmm.
system design is a lot about trivia. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you have this leaderboard generation service. What this service is going to do, is you have Redis, right? So you have this Redis, and it's basically just going to push that data down to the Redis sorted set. Now, when you think of Redis, you should know that Redis is a temporary storage. It's RAM, right? Yeah, it's RAM or cache, actually, not even RAM. So Redis is not a secure means of storage, right? So whenever you are pushing data to the Redis, you are pushing it to generate this leaderboard on the go, right? But you need to save this data as well. For that, you will have Postgres. Okay, database. For that, you will need to have this database, right? So just think of it, how this is going to go. So from the data collection service, it aggregates all the data, and then it goes into the leaderboard generation service. What this leaderboard generation service is going to do is it's going to push that data into Redis to create a sorted set. And the second thing it's going to do is it's going to also push that data into this PostgreSQL, right? So one of the things, like, since I told we have to be very specific, right? What is the format of data that is going to be stored? There's going to be, let's just say there's going to be an ID, which is the ID of the database, and then there's going to be, let's just say, so this game is going to be, so this game ID, right? Player ID, score, then maybe the score is to append, depend, and then there's metadata, there's just metadata. So what this is going to do is you're going to generate events, and those events are basically going to be stored in PostgreSQL, right? So I hope some of you might be familiar with an architecture which is known as a CQRS architecture, command query responsibility segregation. So it separates the reads and writes into views. It's not necessary, but something like that architecture is going to be used here. Events are, these things are events, and then that data is going into Redis, right? So what do you think will happen? Redis is a cache. There's cache hits, cache miss, right? Let's just say I'm trying to do a ZAD here. I'm trying to do a ZAD here, reset score with some ID, or I'm trying to fetch a value. What do you think will happen if there's a cache miss? Sure, I'm recording it. No issues with that. Okay. What do you think will happen when there is a cache miss in this case? Anyone, just anyone. What's the next course of action? In general, if there's a cache miss in Redis, right, what you do is you go to Postgres, you
It's
pick up
from
that.
Postgres. Yeah.
No, it's not going to pick up from Postgres. You are generating a sorted set. So see, if there is a
Mm-hmm.
cache miss that's happening, that means the sorted set has not been created accurately. So you need to dump the entire data in Redis, right? You need to flush out the entire data in Redis, and you need to take that data from Postgres, and you need to regenerate the entire sorted set. Okay. So that is why, you should also, implement certain design decisions, right? This is where design decisions comes in. If you see certain podcasts, you will see that, there's this topic of discussion that has happened, that has a why Instagram not why YouTube has another button, right? After the subscribe, there is a, follow for all updates kind of button, right? So there are these design decisions. I'll not explain that, it's a pretty big 1 hour video, but you can go yourself and see. So there are certain design decisions that the system takes to, mitigate certain kinds of issues, right? If they're like right now, if you are putting a sorted set here, right, and that's a million users. So if something goes wrong, if one event is wrongly handled or something is wrong, right? So and you need to build that whole sorted set again, right? So the a better solution, and the interviewer will ask you this question. I can tell you that you go down the rabbit hole of sorted set, he's going to ask this question. A better solution is basically to have segmented sorted sets, right? Multiple sorted sets based on that, and then also to time out certain things, right? So for the first 1 to 500 users you have a sorted set, for 500 to 1000 users you have a sorted set, like that, right? So that's kind of a solution that you can build. But you should always think that if there is a miss that is happening, like a cache miss that is happening, right? How can I minimize the amount of data that I'm going to build, right? One other way you can do that is kind of archive out the data, right? So in Postgres, right, you're taking all the events and you're building. Do one thing, right? Up to, let's say, this today is let's say what, today is August 11th, right? So what you do is when August 10th, for August 10th, right, you run aggregations on the data and you store it in Postgres, right? So now you no longer need to take the whole table. This is where some this is again a very good example of where CQRS comes in. You're basically building a view, right? View is a read model. So you are taking all that data in Postgres, you are summing it up. So for this user ID, this is the total score on December 11th. So you no longer need to read that entire Postgres table, which is going to be very, very big, right? You can just you take that you can just read that aggregation and you read the data that is just coming in today, and you are rebuilding that sorted set very fast, right? There's something an interviewer is definitely going to ask you, right? And you should know this, right? So I'll just ask you any question so far. I know a lot of you might have questions, but any questions so far? Just unmute yourself and just say that, hey, this is something I don't understand, or what is this, right? Even if you don't understand anything, you guys understood everything then. So just do a thumbs up if you understood everything. Just do a thumbs up. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay. I think that's really good. That's really good. Okay. Okay. So okay, user ID hash map, and okay. So we are so we know how this this is going to work. Now let's think of how we are going to flag out users, right? So there's going to be a service which will be for analytics. Okay. So we'll have this analytics service, right? So we'll have this analytics service which is going to be for all the analytics purposes. Now let's understand the implications of this service. Let's just say some guy is cheating and he's moving up the leaderboard very, very fast, right? So when we are sending this diff data, right? Diff for a guy, how fast he's moving up or down the leaderboard and all that, we are sending that diff. And using that diff you can figure out that hey, something wrong is happening, something fishy is happening. So but we are running a leaderboard service, like, so we what we can do is we can send that data back to the main game. It's a hybrid session. There's both are happening, like I mentioned, right? We are almost done with the system design. We'll move into the career guidance and stuff, right? But then we this analytics service is going to send backfeed the data down to the data collection service, and that is going to inform the game that, hey, something fishy is happening, maybe you should consider banning this player, right? So that's kind of how this whole thing is working, like leaderboard generation service. I think we covered everything here, right? Yeah, that's kind of the basic of of how a leaderboard service is going to work, right? The major thing that here is basically how we can make it scalable, how we can latency is important. So just think of it, if it's a game like PUBG or something, we should open up WebSocket connections between the leaderboard and the game. So whenever the interviewer asks you a question like this, right, would you open a WebSocket connection here, or would you have a REST API connection? And never answer that, I'll open a REST API or I'll answer a WebSocket, right? Always try to give a deep answer. So like the answer I will give is that we'll open a WebSocket if it's a real-time game like PUBG, right, where the connection between the server to the client, it's getting updated real time, and the user needs to, with each kill, the user needs to know if he's moving up the ladder, right, just as the kill has happened. But if it's a game like Ludo King, right, where the game ends and then there's just some time it's buffering, and then you are getting the result, then obviously it's a REST API. I mean, just looking at Ludo King, you can understand that they are making a REST API call to the leaderboard, putting the details, and then getting back the response, right? So that's kind of the thing that's going there, right? So if so yeah, I think we're good here. We'll move to the career guidance, but let's discuss a bit more on the leaderboard, right? If any of you have any kind of questions or anything, right? Anything? Just unmute yourself. No, like don't be like, there's other people, what are they going to think and all, right? You've come to the session, you have come to learn something, right? You're here. um you might get this in an interview, you should be able to answer that, right? So just unmute yourself, ask any questions. I'm pretty sure that all 60 of you must not have gotten it right at this point of time, right? So
Uh,
yeah.
just one question I can ask. In terms of the concurrent requests, for example, we have n number of requests, concurrent requests.
Sure.
So in that case, the how do we handle the concurrency in terms of locks and synchronization? Do we handle it on the Spring Boot part, or do we handle on the data part? That is something that I'm
Exactly.
always confused in. Like I know about the mutex and locks, various types of locks, but how
Exactly.
do we handle it programmatically?
Yeah, yeah, that this is a very good question, very good question. So the solution that I will give for this question is that we use Kafka. So there's a timestamp attached to each request, right? Whenever you're building a leaderboard, right? So even if there are concurrent requests coming, right, think of it that this is a leaderboard, right, a gaming leaderboard. So there's a user's code is coming, right? So it's not going to be concurrent. Like at the same point of time, there cannot be two different scores for a given user. There's going to be different scores for different
Uh,
users that are coming.
So this question was like more of a generic question, not particularly related to leaderboard. For example, we have multiple requests coming on an API, like not particularly to a leaderboard, but multiple requests coming on an API. And in that case, we have a single resource which needs to be collected by a API or something like that. So in that case, we know that we have different like 2PC, 3PC logs and stuff, right?
Okay.
And we have different ways to handle like transactions in distributed systems. So
Yeah.
the settings of those things, like for example, we want it to be optimistic concurrency control or pessimistic concurrency control. These things are handled on the Spring Boot side or on the SQL setting side. That's just the only question.
Got it, got it. Yeah, concurrency is not handled on the SQL side. Although
Mhm.
you can have certain SQL queries to handle it, but but you never risk it in the system, because if you're handling it on the SQL side, a lot of times there are multiple solutions that are going to use your SQL, right?
Mhm.
But you never leave it on the SQL side. You try to, you are obviously going to put up constraints like unique, timestamp, and all that, but you try to handle that on the server side as well. You try to see that these issues don't happen. But if you have this kind of concurrency issues that are happening in your system, right, that multiple requests are coming in your system, usually what the logs that we apply are applied on timestamp, right? This is a very
Mhm.
good interview question. Just note it down, everyone, that the logs are usually applied on timestamp, because timestamp is the only thing that is same across various systems, right? um,
Mhm.
so yeah, that's kind of my answer to that question, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, okay, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, but also you should design your system in a way that you shouldn't have this kind of problems, right? Even for concurrency and all that, and just try to design that, there's segregation in a certain way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then again, this, cap theorem, you make a choice between consistency and availability, right? If your system is going to be eventually consistent, or it's going to be consistent. But yeah, yeah. Anyways, anyone else have any questions, or we will move on to the career guidance now, I think. No questions, right? Okay. um, so we'll move on to the career guidance. For that, what I want to do is, a few of you just show your resumes or ask questions, and then after that I'll just tell you how, I'll give a bit more generic advice on how to, improve your LinkedIn and stuff like that, how to get more better calls and stuff like that, right? um, yeah, just share your Discord forces or lead code ratings matter. Yeah, good question. uh, Okay, I don't have grip but have skills in one stack. Okay. So the first question: does code forces or lead code ratings matter? It matters for your own. You shouldn't be putting up code forces or lead code links in your resume, because these ratings could be faked also. And the most important thing here is that but these ratings are for yourself, right? So because companies are asking questions, right? So if you're good at lead code, I mean, I personally make it a practice to, the way that I like to solve lead code is like, I like to take a topic and deconstruct it, right? Like right now I'm doing binary search, like that, try to do at least 100 150 problems on binary search. Even if the problem has a better solution using hash map and trees, or segment trees or something, try to do it using binary search, and it helps a lot for me. Because in a lot of interviews where you are able to, when you are doing questions on a specific topic, you're able to identify the pattern of that topic, right? That, hey, this is a binary search problem, so like a 40-minute like lead code question could go down to 5-10 minutes, because you're not spending a lot of time thinking about it. And these common topics like binary search and bit manipulation and stuff, they come a lot, so it's always good that you do it like that, right? um Second question is, I don't have grip in DS algo but have skills in MERN stack. Okay. So if you don't have a grip in DSL, go. Yeah. So see, the issue is a lot of people can do Monster. That's a major issue, right? And most companies, they, like, if you're saying that you want to interview at companies that has just Monster, the issue is that a lot of these companies will give you assignments, and then it's a bit troubling, right? The thing is that the reason why DS algo is so good, and DS algo and system design, is because so less people can actually do it. Merstack, a lot of people can do, right? I mean, Akshay Saini has such good courses that he has educated the world. But so you take that course, you do a bit, 10-15 hours of study, you are able to do that. Like lead code takes a lot more time, right? Lead code takes weeks, months, years, right, to master lead code in a certain way that you are able to do hard problems. So merge stack is good, but if you can have a grip in DS algo, definitely do DS algo, right? That's very important. Okay. Yeah, this is a very common problem, matching resume with JD keywords. I'll tell you one of the things that I did to improve on my interview calls, right? So I was not getting any interview calls also in 2 weeks. What I very recently did was that I put my YouTube channel link in my resume. I'll show you my resume. I think it's this. So if you see, I did this. I like to maintain a log of everything I learn on my YouTube channel, right? So it's like a one line. It doesn't show that I'm some influencer or something like that. But like the way that I did this, right, is the reason I did this is if you look at my channel, you will see there are a lot of there are a lot of system designs where we have gone deep dive into certain things, right? I've read engineering blogs, and I spend a lot of my time doing all these things, understanding things that basically make me a better engineer, right? And I think that is very very important because like when I started doing that, my interview calls increased like 6 to 8x, because now that they have some visual proof, right, that I've given this interview. Now they know that okay, this guy might be able to crack that interview. At the end, it's the same thing, right? For a product based company, it's difficult to find people who are willing to crack interviews. Or I mean, so in a way, right, if you if you're good at lead code, right, why don't you do this? Why don't you make 20, 30 videos on your channel where you're explaining lead code problems? Or you just go on LinkedIn, right, you just type out a solution to a problem, try to explain it intuitively. Or you write an answer to a system design. Just show people that you're not just coding for money, you are coding actually because you like coding, you have that culture in you, right? Because that's something that most companies look for, is that when you're sitting down having lunch, you will be talking about code, talking about ways to improve the system, taking ownership of things. That's kind of what most companies look for, right? um, that's one of the ways that I will tell you, you can improve your resume. Just try to get better calls is by presenting yourself. It's all about how you present yourself. If you're presenting yourself as one software engineer in a pool of software engineers, it's just going to be same. Is there any questions that you guys might have, right, on this, whatever I said? I mean, just think of it like we did a system design session today, right? There's something, like I said, a lot of you might not know about the sorted sets, right? Or how to design gaming leaderboard. What you can do is obviously just go back home, study these things, and then tomorrow make a LinkedIn post on it. That hey, I learned really sorted sets, and it's something super amazing, right? And I did this study, and it's such a good thing for building gaming leaderboards. It came in this interview. There are these other data alternatives like Rockset and all. They optimized it further and like that, right? You can just make a LinkedIn post on it, and you can try posting daily whatever you learn. That shows that you're better than the average engineer, right? Yeah, Abhishek, what's your question?
हेलो गुड इवनिंग भैया।
Yeah.
भैया मैं अभी मतलब फाइनल ईयर में
Okay.
हूँ। मैं जैसे प्लेसमेंट्स का प्रिपेयर कर रहा था तो मेरे को सिस्टम डिजाइन के मतलब समझ नहीं आता है क्या एक्चुअल में। तो मैं जब कॉन्सेप्ट्स के थ्रू जा रहा था तो मेरे को लगा कि जो मैंने क्लाउड में पढ़ा है जैसे स्केलेबिलिटी हो गया, ऑटो स्केलिंग हो गया, फॉल्ट टॉलरेंस,
Yeah.
वो क्लाउड्स तो मेरे को कितना सिस्टम डिजाइन आना चाहिए। मैं कहीं जाता हूँ तो बोलते हैं कि एलएलडी पढ़ लो, यूएमएल सिंटेक्स पढ़ लो। मेरे को नहीं समझ में आता मतलब क्या है, मतलब वो मतलब यूएमएल सिंटेक्स क्या, जैसे हम लोग वो जो जैसे डेटाबेस डिजाइनिंग हम लोग कैसे करते हैं तो वो क्या उस टाइप का
नहीं, एक चीज देखो, like you have these
जैसे।
skills, right? Like if I tell you to make an app or something like that, right? When you are building something for a small number of users, right, you must have had projects. Projects to hoga, right, which you are doing, right? So these projects that you have, these are for small users, right? एक दो स्केल पे, एक दो मतलब लोग आते होंगे, नहीं आते होंगे, 10, 20, 100, 200, right? When that thing reaches millions of users, right, think of all the issues that can happen. एक है, you need to be very consistent with your data, right? If data gets lost, that user information gets lost. If data is stolen, right, then that's user information is stolen. You need a lot of issues. You have compliance, you have what do they call, like when it's a production system, right, you have scalability, you have like load handling and stuff like that, right? So many tricky complications, right? Building your system in a way that it can scale very easily from 0 to 100, right? Building your system using, like abhi you saw us doing this leaderboard system, right? If you got this as a college project, you will probably just use the ready sorted set implementation directly उसको आप अपने फ्रंट एंड से एक बैक फ्रंट एंड बनाओगे, एक बैक एंड बनाओगे, उसको कनेक्ट कर दोगे, राइट? बट जब जब आपका स्केल में है, राइट, आई सेड लाइक देयर इज इंजेक्शन लोड हैपनिंग, लाइक काफका में बहुत बहुत, काफका नहीं है आपके पास, आपके वो जो सर्वर है उसको 1 लाख रिक्वेस्ट आ गया, सब हिट कर दिया, योर सीपीयू विल थ्रॉटल, राइट? If you're running your CPU on your local or AWS में instance spin up किया, your CPU will throttle out, right? So that's why you put a Kafka there so that it doesn't throttle out. So ऐसे ऐसे करके आप एक एक करके आप ऐसे systems बनाते हो. And now system design is when you're building a system, you already know this thing that आप पहले से ही Kafka डाल दोगे वहाँ पे, आपको पता है कि वो लोड नहीं ले पाएगा. That's system design for you, right? So अभी जो implementation किया हमने, were you able to understand that?
नहीं, मेरे को थोड़ा थोड़ा समझ में आ रहा था, वो जो लीड कोड से आप कनेक्ट कर रहे थे कि प्रायोरिटी क्यों यूज करेंगे, फिर उसको फ्रंट एंड पे लेके आएंगे, फिर वो डेटा शो होगा.
It's actually a bit tricky क्योंकि मैं बताता हूँ why it's tricky, because this is the 12th session of Leaderboard. 12 या 14 सेशंस है, तो आई थिंक मैंने यूट्यूब पे सारे वीडियोस अपलोड किए हैं, लाइक you can start seeing from my first session. We did very easy system design problems there, and right now we are doing more trickier problems, right? The reason I wanted to go into trickier problems is because I wanted each of you to take away something from this session. I didn't want it to be like a vanilla session where you do a system design or book my show or something, right? These kind of problem are very very interesting, right? Because people keep saying that we never use DSA in real world, right? DSA कहीं पे use नहीं होता. DSA is actually used in a lot of ways. Trees हम implement करते हैं during doing system design, and those implementations are so interesting, right? Databases internally B plus trees use करती है. So the thing is, the more you understand these things, right? अगर आप जाके like whatever we have learned today, if you are able to do this much, right? अगर आप जाके इंटरव्यूअर को बोल देते हो, वो तो पागल हो जाएगा, right? He will be like, how do you know this much things, right? So like your selection is kind of guaranteed if you're able to do this, right?
तो
But
भैया स्टार्ट कैसे करना, मतलब यूट्यूब चैनल पे जाके, मतलब कोई प्री रिक्विजिट है इसका कि मतलब ये आना ही चाहिए, या फिर सीधा बस देखना स्टार्ट?
you can start seeing it. कुछ समझ नहीं आए तो I mean you can get like there are some paid courses I will recommend. So like God of अच्छा नहीं है वो course, but okay, Shreyans Jain has a Udemy course, I think 500 में मिल जाएगा आपको if you want, right?
अच्छा, वो कॉन्सेप्ट्स एंड कोडिंग का.
हाँ, concepts and coding का I think you will get it. There are other people also who have had it. I mean, uh, I also try to help people. So मेरे cohort में भी कुछ third fourth year के हैं. If you can afford it, right? I'm not pushing you, or I'm
नहीं
not.
नहीं, मेरे को एक्चुअली मतलब उससे नहीं है, मतलब प्राइस से कुछ नहीं है. मेरे को लग रहा है कि आप सीखना है, क्योंकि इंटरव्यू तो मेरे को मिल नहीं रहा. आप जो बोल रहे हो इंटरव्यू में पूछेगा, वो तो कॉल आने से रहा, तो कम से कम सीख ही लेते हैं.
Okay. Like like you can join my cohort if you want, right? I don't like promoting it like that, but if you want, we can talk later, right, about this. But anyways, like I see a lot of other hands, like sort of Lakshmi, Charul, Kuchina.
Hey, from here you can see. So I have 1 year of experience in manufacturing. So I'm just working in the service.
Your mic,
Hello,
is camera is not good. Yeah,
can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, so like I have 1 year experience as a stack developer, and
Okay.
like I'm working in a services company.
Okay.
So let's say if I switch into a tier one product company, so given that my background is stack, will that company force me, or will a situation comes like that company is demanding me to work in Flutter all of a sudden after
That's a
hiring?
very very company specific question, right? How will I answer that? That depends on your company. To mute you, but you can ask that they don't do that, right? But that's a very company specific question. That depends on your manager. That depends on I've worked at very small startups. You have to be hands on in everything. That's kind of my answer to that question. Yeah, Charul, you want to go next? If you have follow-up questions, just keep your hands raised, right?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, actually, my doubt is that my offer is revoked recently. I am 2024 batch pass out, so I'm from a Taiwan college. But now that like before 2 months, I got to know that my offer is revoked. So all of a sudden, I have come in preparation mode. So I was doing DSA in my college एंड प्रोजेक्ट्स तो मैंने मतलब जो मेजरली लोग डालते वही सब मैंने डाला था सो नाउ आई एम वेरी मच कंफ्यूज बिकॉज ऑफ कैंपस हंटिंग इज़ वेरी न्यू टू मी मंथ्स तक मुझे आता नहीं है अभी आई हैव स्टार्टेड लर्निंग रिएक्ट और
Yeah,
डीएसए अभी मतलब प्लेसमेंट लगने के बाद मैंने छोड़ दिया था मतलब उतना नहीं किया था तो अभी 6-7 महीने का गैप आके फिर से शुरू करना स्क्रैच से बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो रहा है चीज़ें तो इफ़ यू कैन गाइड मी बेस्ड ऑन माय करंट सिचुएशन
got it, got it. Honest advice is, I would say that you pick up a certain course, free हो paid हो कुछ भी उठाओ, A to Z करो, ठीक है? That's what I would say, instead of going on YouTube random चीजें करने से better है. और there are engineering leaders, right? Very senior leaders that are on topmate, right? मतलब 10 साल 15 साल के एक्सपीरियंस के लोग हैं who actually provide sessions for cheap. तो एक पहले एक वो ले लो and get a career guidance, kind of plan mapped out. Again, these are paid advices I'm giving. But the thing is that you need to first is collect कर लो खुद को थोड़ा सा, I mean, it's not like you're the first person that has happened. I was talking to someone that got laid off in Atlassian layoffs, right? 2024 graduate थी, and like in 1.5 months she was placed in Blinkit, right? So it's not like career gaps and all ठीक है, but when a company is hiring, if you have the skills, right, you will get a chance, right? There are small startups आप जा सकते हो, और you can try to intern somewhere just to get employed again, right? छोटे projects, if you have an Upwork account, I would say कि try to start that, get some runway down the line, right? Try to keep approaching people that are good, like founders, small founders and stuff like that. Hiring is tough for them also. Unko approach karo, ask them, tell them that you want to work, your offer was revoked. Maybe make a LinkedIn post also asking for help. I think I've seen that those posts, उस एक पोस्ट से भी लोगों को 10-12 कॉल्स तो आ ही जाते हैं लिंक्डइन पे. So 10-12 interview calls isn't a low number, right? I mean, it's the difference of being unemployed and being employed, right? So try to do everything within to leverage your social circle as well. और खुद के हिसाब से at लीड कोड प्रिपरेशन तो एक लेवल तक आपको लेके जाना है. You need to at least do like 20-30 पाँच करके क्वेश्चन करते रहो. आई नो it's depressing, right, when you are in this state, but the thing is that the more you do it, right, एक point पे आपको you need to stop feeling like you're not doing anything, you're unemployed. Like, the more questions you do, the more you'll feel that okay, I'm coding, right, I'm feeling good. So first do that, right? First take yourself to a middle state, right, where you are not feeling like I'm not doing anything or something like that. Build your own projects पे अभी उतना भी focus मत करो as much as you're focusing on lead code. Something I remember is I cloned a GitHub, I cloned a project that was very popular. I attached some, so there is a movie building site, right, that is basically kind of like where you see all the movies. So some guy has built some very beautiful UI on that. What I did was I built a scraper that scrapes Pirate Bay. So Pirate Bay was banned in India, but so I had a scraper. मैंने Heroku deploy कर दिया था पोलैंड में, और वहाँ से वो Pirate Bay को scrape करके मुझे scrapings दे रहा था जो magnet links है. And I use that scraper. So मैंने बस उसको integrate कर दिया, and I showed that in my off campus to my CEO, and he was CEO of जैविस नाम का एक कंपनी, उनके सीईओ को दिखाया था, एंड ही वाज वेरी इम्प्रेस्ड. तो उन्होंने एक ही राउंड में मेरा सिलेक्शन कर दिया था, एंड दैट्स काइंड ऑफ हाउ आई गॉट लाइक माय फर्स्ट ऑफ कैंपस इंटर्नशिप इन जनवरी, राइट? सो you can do it like that, right? So yeah, मेरा वही guidance रहेगा आपको, right? Let's go to the second person who raised hand, right? Let's see. Lakshmi.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, the thing is, I have been working, like I worked for 2.5 years, and due to some personal issues, and also the company also laid off, and my father was not well, so I took a break, and it's been 9 months now, and I am applying like from July. I had started like applying rigorously, but I am not able to get lot of calls, like maybe one or two. That's it.
One or two a month.
One or two a week, that too not a call. They just like it's just the HR calls, and they just ask for the resume, and once I just pass their resume, they in engineering manager round, my resume is not getting shortlisted.
Got it. Yeah, yeah. It's a
And
very
I
bad.
am into Node.js, and like Node.js full stack developer, like backend is into Node.
Got it. You have 2 years of experience, you said.
2.5 and 9 months of gap.
Okay, okay.
So I'm
Uh,
not getting what to do.
I can understand that. I can understand that. So the thing is that it just totally depends on what skill they're hiring at, right? So if you're getting 1 to 2 calls a week, that means that you are still like you are still good in the job market, right? They are picking up your resume. Hiring managers are not picking up because maybe they have other candidates on the line. But if they are seeing good, like if they need to hire a large number of people, right? So you have not gotten any interviews till now.
No, no, I got some multiple like Walmart and some other companies like startup. Yeah, I was able to clear till up to some calls went up to second round. But after second round, I could not, like I did well only, but I don't know why they did not choose me.
So that's good actually. So if you're see, the job market right now is not good. Like I said, there's a student in my cohort, right? Himanshu, I think I talk about him a lot, right? He's from Atlassian. He's good, he's good with system design, DSA, and all that, right? And yet he got 2 calls in 2 months. Okay, so that's kind of the state of the market right now, and he's from Atlassian. Just think of it, right? And
Yeah,
he's
I am
asking,
from startup and I don't think
yeah,
like that.
yeah, he's asking for 20 LPA, like someone from Atlassian with 2.5 years of experience asking for 20 LPA, and he's not getting calls, right? So just think of it, the market's not that good, right? But as long as you are giving interviews, you're getting calls, right? Try going for even lower, smaller size startups. Try going for consultancies and stuff like that. Just try, the first thought in your mind, the first attempt needs to be to be employed first, right?
Yeah.
And the major thing that I would tell you is that don't lose hope at any cost, right? There's this girl that came to me, right, about 6 months back, and she said that she lost her mother, and so she had to come back home, and she was in a very bad state, right? So she had 1 year or half year of experience, and about I think about a couple of days back only I saw that she just cracked Amazon, right? So
Yeah.
like I've seen a lot of people, someone takes a bet on you at some point of time, right? Someone will take a bet on you. I mean, even but yeah, there will be less people that are willing to take a bet on you, right? If in general you will have 10 people, here you will have 3 4 people, but the first focus is just be employed, right? There's not a lot you can do if you're not getting calls. One of the
Yeah.
way I would tell you that you can fix your resume is that work on an idea, and then you can say that you were self-employed in that time. You were not laid off, you were self-employed. So you were working on your idea, you were working on your passion, or you were doing something on
I
your.
just put it in that gap. I just put it like I have upskilled my work, and I have worked on myself, and like
Yeah,
with taking care of like my father. So
you
that
can
thing I have
try
put it.
tweaking your resume a bit. Don't
Sure.
don't don't put things like personal things in the resume. Put that instead. You build a small website or something like that, and you say that you worked on this. or you freelance during that time, that's not verified, right? But try not putting personal things there, because I think it helps more. Is, it's just going to be my advice to you, right?
Okay. Yeah. And
So
like just another one question, last question.
sure.
Like when may market pick up? Because like I had applied more than 1,200 jobs, but
Okay.
I'm not able.
I got 16 interview calls in the last 2 weeks, so can't relate that well here. But the thing is, like, the thing about market is, it's kind of how you position yourself, right? So like I said, right, I gave a shout out to two students in my cohort last week, and they each one got like 10-12 interview calls, right? From various recruiters. And so it's kind of like, people are still hiring right now. I wouldn't say actively hiring, but hiring. It's just how you position yourself, right? Because most hiring positions are getting filled like that. They're getting filled with recommendations, rather than you're applying and you're getting a call that is not suiting that much.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. It's always better that, try to network on LinkedIn, try to find someone in a position of power who is going to, vouch for you, right? um, some
Yeah.
engineering leader or someone like that. I mean, don't send out cold emails to people. Don't send out hi's, hellos. It doesn't end well. But try to, like I would say, try to network in a different way, like from an engineer to engineer perspective kind of
Yeah.
networking, right? Like, you can see the WhatsApp groups I have built, right? Okay,
Yeah.
this is an interesting question actually. I share all my learnings, but not getting clickbait posts get all the attention. Okay, so that's why I write clickbait posts myself, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So one good way to do this, right, is try to write posts around people that are important, that get more views than you, right? Like, I kind of once wrote a post on Styward and he commented on it, right? If you see that with the recent, Take You Forward launch, a lot of people are writing things like, I recommend this course, Take You Forward, and Styward's putting a comment there, right? And it's going to his millions of connections, right? And then their profiles are getting huge boosts, right? So that's kind of the game that you play on LinkedIn, right? It's basically that try to loop in people that are more important, that are, more, that have more reach than you, right? So I'll tell you one hack. You can write about this session. You can write about it. I'll repost it. You'll get a lot of views. You may or may not get views. I don't know, but you'll get connections, right? If you write something good, uh, that's something. And then there are other people. I think I went a wrong way of doing this when I started, right? When I had 6 7K followers, I used to believe that, these people, like, they're this famous, like, people like, Keith Swani, and this big people, like, I can write shit about them, they won't notice, right? So I remember I started my journey by writing a, diss post about Kunal Kushwaha, right? I wrote a daily, like, I used to get 5 10 views, and then I wrote about him and I got 1K views, and that kind of kickstarted my journey. And then I later saw that that guy has blocked me, right? So that's a way I would not recommend that you guys follow. Like, I would never recommend that, because I kind of learned that lesson, right? That, they are not that high up than you. They can see, if you're writing something, it goes viral, they can see that post and it hurts people, right? You don't want to hurt people. um, so the other way is to just create a positive influence, right? Try to, try to try to loop in important people, try to give them reach, try to say that they're doing a good thing, right? And they will comment on it, it will enhance your views, right? But yeah, that's kind of the basic strategy that you can follow right now. The other one does apply like Naukri. Every portal helps. There is hiring going on in every portal, right? I've got calls from Naukri, there are calls from InstaHire that come in, right? You will see that recruiters view profiles, right? So if you're not getting calls, it's not that the portal is not working. The portal is working for some people, that's why it exists, right? um, Final year undergrad apart from DSA. So system design. Okay, DSA and system design, because DSA, see, DSA, a lot of people are knights at lead code these days, right? Lead code keeps getting easier. The thing that matters most is, so if you see most companies like Blinkit and all, they are going to ask system design. They don't have a lot of expectations from you. Your second and third round are system design, right? It's mostly HLD system design, deep dive into the system. But if you are able to do that, right, if you are able to, like in my cohort, right, there's a guy in third year, Ayan or something like that, Ardian, Ardian, I think. I don't know if he's in this call, but yeah. So the thing is that, he's learning. He's, I think, in the second year. So for the last 1 year or something, he will be learning and he will be going deep into this concept, right? So that gives a huge edge to this person, right? Because lead code and stuff, though anyone can do, but actually understanding systems like that, so that means that you can go into a company, you can just get hands on this kind of stuff, right? So that's a massive edge, because no one else in your team is going to be that versed in system design, right? um, that's something I will highly recommend you. So I have a lot of free videos on my channel. You guys should definitely watch it. If you guys want, I'll have multiple webinars also, right? If you guys would want me to have other webinars, I could do one next week also, for similar, like I charge 50 because I think it's reasonable, and also I'm thinking of like building courses, so I need video editors for that, because I don't have time from my full-time job to edit videos and do all that stuff. So if you guys would want to also come in the subsequent sessions, make them a success, then we'll have more sessions. I'm sure you guys would learn more, right? But let's go. Hello sir, actually I'm working. I joined this company through here. We're supposed to work on tools rather source, and I'm having not to your bond. Okay. um Highly, the solution to most of these questions, right? How do I switch, how do I do that, is first, get your DSA and system design to a certain level, right? Then that's the first thing that you need to do, because what's the point if you're getting interview calls but you're not able to crack them, right? So first you need to get your DSA system design to a certain level, and once you are there, then you start applying. You need to learn on your own if you are working on a certain language, right? Like I was working in Golang, right? You look here, if you see, I'll just show something. So in general, right, 90% of developers, if they are learning Golang, what they will do is they will just go to YouTube, go to Golang tutorial, right? Right, and you see any of these courses, right? None of them will talk about internals of Golang, like memory management. How does Golang's Go routines help, right? And that's where you get stuck. If an interviewer comes to you, I've been asked this in my Swiggy interview, right? Like I said that Golang is better than languages like Java, C, and all that, is because it has Go routines that are, its memory management is better. So the interviewer asked me, how is it memory management better, right? So I said it's automated. So like he's like, what do you mean by automated, right? What do you mean by automated? What is the algorithm that Golang is using internally, right? So this is something that 90% of things won't videos won't tell you, right? Golang internally uses algorithms like mark and sweep algorithm. Go routines run concurrently with it, so it's much faster than something like JavaScript, which is basically in an event loop, right? So for learning this thing, you need to go to a video that is very dedicated about this. So for that, so this knowledge, right, you need to search for it. This knowledge is not going to come to you, right? You need to maybe Golang memory management. You go here and you will see this video, this not this video but this kind of videos, right? 29, 30 minutes, 40 minutes down. So these videos are much more nuanced, they are much more in depth as compared to, you know, the existing videos, and you need to search for it. You will not get these videos, um, you will not get these videos as part of your Golang course, right? Because it's not needed to learn Golang, but it's needed when you're working in a system that handles data at that scale. You need to, every MB megabyte matters, every small bit of memory matters. You need to compress your Docker containers, you need to push producers and consumers in the same queue, right? So all these things matter. Then, you know, so it's about going in depth, right? If you have a certain framework, you know that in depth, you know things like memory, you know how, you know how to not just build an application but build a very very optimized application. Then it's then you get that edge, and trust me, once you have that edge, right, once you are there, right, then interview is not a big deal for you, right? That's not a big issue. Okay, right, because it's not relevant experience. How to ask for referral, right? The issue is, if you're a fresher, most people won't give you a referral because fresher referrals are don't work, right? So recruiters are already flooded with fresher resumes, right? Why would they pay someone money to get another fresher resume, right? People don't want to refer freshers. But like I said, right, like I like to tell that the solution of everything is try to network with people in power. Just give me a second. Yeah, so network with people who are, you know, staff engineers or something. Book topmate sessions with them. Try to get in a circle where they will refer you, where they will push your resume to an HR, and you know they have their friends also. They will you know, like push your resume in certain ways and get you interview calls, and you know, get you these things. Like I'll tell you this: there's a company, right, a service based company that, you know, hires in bulk, right? A big four company, right? One of the big four, and like my cousin works there, right? And he can push any resume he wants, he can get them direct interviews. So like if I pass your resume down to him, he will get you like a direct interview, and you know, maybe he will take that interview himself, or you know, not do that. Definitely, Preplaced is a good resource, or topmate. Try to see that if it's not very expensive, right? Try to try to book an affordable session, um, because at the end, if it doesn't work out, you wasted a lot of money, right? Okay, rejected. Good offer. 2 3 days. When market thinking about joining it, definitely join it, I would say, because no, it won't be difficult. It won't be difficult. In fact, considering the market, right? See, product based to service based switch is, you know, not a very difficult thing, because there are good work happening in service based. One of the things that I've noticed in service based companies, right, TCS, Wipro, and all, people don't really work that much there. You can focus on other things in life, right? You can focus on building your own side projects, hobbies, and stuff like that. But give me a minute. Mentioning candidates should have experience, and okay. The thing is that, you know, even for service based companies, right, you should have that product based culture inside of you, right? Don't fall into, like, 90% of the people in service based companies I've seen, they are just surface level people, right? They don't want to go into deep, they won't do system design, they don't want to do DSA and stuff, right? Don't fall in that line, right? It doesn't matter where you're working, always be curious, be into internals of system rather than just, you know, just being a web developer. Don't be a web developer, okay? That's one thing I'll tell. Be an architect, right? Be a builder. Even if, you know, you're not that in a position to build, always think about, you know, how you can build things, right? Keep good company, right? Maintain your company, and you know, don't worry too much about market and all that, right? So for that, I would highly recommend that right now you join the service based company. that the market is not good. A lot of bigger organizations that I'm talking to, Amazon, Microsoft, and all, they are not hiring for full time position right now. What they're doing is they are outsourcing to contracts and doing that kind of hiring, right? So that they can get it cheap and stuff, right? They're outsourcing to these companies like Awin and all those consultancy firms. So it's better to not fall in that. It's better to like take up whatever you're getting. Okay. I hope that helps. Let's see, JD, like Airtel. So knowledge, should tech stack matter or only DSA and system design? Tech stack matters, but if you're good at DSA and system design, you can crack a good product based company, right? I mean, I don't have experience in Java Spring Boot, right? So um, DSA system design is generic, right? I mean, tech stack, some company wants Java, some company wants Golang, right? But if you're good in DSA system design, it means you can pick up things, you can be a good architect. Your manager can hand over things to you. You'll be able to solve it, right? And then again, if it's the same question, support role switch to developer role, right? See, if you can crack an interview of a developer role, you can switch to a developer role, right? It's not hard. So I mean, if a fresher is going for a developer role, why can't you? Like, it's not something negative, right? So just focus on your DSS system design, build your resume like that, showcase that you're good at it. Like, see the way that I have showcased, right? That building systems, building like that, showcase your LinkedIn like that you actually know these things, and you're not just asking questions like that, right? Okay, go lot of hands. Tushar, let's start with you.
Hi, good evening. So I'm in the same condition as Charul. I'm a fresher. I have a bit of experience in Montreal. Apart from that, I've exposure. I've done internship where I had an exposure in DevOps. So my question is, if I have to target startups and get my first job, what tech stack should I work on? Should I continue my one stack, or should I switch to Java Spring Boot, or even go deep into DevOps? That's my
Got
question.
got it. I like to say that tech stack is something you can choose, right? I've worked on .NET, Golang, different tech stacks. Keep your DSN system design on point. That's the most important thing. Tech stack does not take time to learn, right?
Should I make projects on that? Because how will I stand out my resume for that? Like, because there are so many freshers in the market, and
So
I
many
feel like
freshers of projects, right? They're just copy pasting. Like, you see, I gave a shout out to one of my students, right? The CTO of Zepto, I think, commented on it, and then a fresher commented down below that he said, I'm good. Please take my resume. And then below that, one guy commented on it that you have copied my project. You have like, I'll just show that conversation. I just show that conversation. See this funny thing. I mean, just give me a minute, okay? Just give me a minute. I write a lot of shit, but okay, okay, okay. I think this one, yeah. So, if you see there, right? Just give me a minute. Okay. I think it's deleted or something like that. Probably. Okay, yeah, this one. See. So he said, please DM, and then this dude writes that, wanted to go into Zepto as an intern. Please give me your resume, right? And he pasted this resume, and then there's this guy that has written, doesn't matter. If you really build something unique, but you wouldn't be searching, I think he deleted the other comment, but he has written that basically this guy has copy pasted all his projects, right? This guy has copy pasted his projects, and he's claiming it as his own, right? So I think every fresher is doing it these days. They're copy pasting projects and claiming it as their own. So either way, you have a lot of merge type projects. You still won't be able to distinguish yourself in a certain way, right? That's why I'm saying that focus on DSM system design more, because as a fresher, that is something you can truly distinguish yourself on, right?
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that that makes sense. Again, like someone in the web dev space might give you a different advice, right? For me, for getting good jobs, I have used DSM system design. It's my specialization. It's like there are multiple paths that lead you to the same destination, right? You might be very damn good at web dev. You could get a good job using that. For me, I've seen the path to be this, right? That's why I recommend this. But
Uh,
okay.
yeah, in that case, lead code rankings would matter, right?
No, lead code rankings don't matter. I mean, you can fake that, right? See, anything you can fake doesn't matter. Okay, lead code rankings are for yourself, for your own satisfaction. What matters is, are you able to solve that lead code question in an interview or not?
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Next person. Let's see.
Hello, am I
Yeah.
audible, Ramit?
Yeah, you're audible.
So Ramit, basically same. So I carry a year, 2 years of experience. I'm 2022 grad, and I have been working in Amazon from like past 1.5 years. And I'm right now looking for a switch. But the only thing is that I'm getting referrals. It's not like I'm not getting referrals. Because whoever I'm texting, he is willing to refer me. But
Okay.
even after getting a referral, I'm not getting my resume shortlisted. Like recently, I applied to Microsoft, where the JD matched my resume keywords and all. But after I guess a week or so, I got an automated rejection mail. Same happened with Google. In both of the scenarios, I DM'd the engineering manager himself. He gave out a form to the candidate. I pinged them with all the relevant details, but after just 2 weeks, I got a rejection mail. Where in the case of Google, there was no preference, like they were looking for a Java developer or something. They were just like 1 year of experience and any OOPS language, something related to that. So like how to handle these things. Only thing is I'm not getting enough interview calls. Like I think from past 1 month I got just 1 or 2 interview calls at max. But the only thing is I'm not getting any over rounds calls or interview calls to basically proceed ahead and show that I am eligible enough. But yeah, that
Yeah.
is the issue.
I'm assuming you're looking for a hike on your Amazon CTC, right?
Even if it's a balanced one, I'm okay with that. Like the 45 CTC breakdown that they have, I'm okay if the base salary is near around that. I'm not looking for a significant hike like 30 or 40%. If it's a near around that, I'm okay with that. But on that condition also, like we do not reach the conversation to that point that we can negotiate or talk around that key.
How
Okay,
much experience do you have?
I carry a year on Amazon. I had 1.6, and prior to that, I carry a 3 or 4 months. So in around total 1.9.
Yeah, so the market is not like that, right? So,
Exactly. Yeah,
like,
that is.
there's like I'm seeing someone from Atlassian is asking for 20 LP, right?
Mhm.
So, like, you have a job at Amazon already. Just do that, right? I mean, like wait for the market to heal, right? Things are not good right now, and you never know, right? You are leaving. I left Slice for simple. I got laid off in 3 months. You never know what's going to happen, and once you lose that leverage, right? If you're losing your leverage in today's market, right, you are messed up. People will give you, you will need to accept whatever is given to you. Just think of it, right now you are searching for a job, but you are still okay because you have your non-negotiables. Even if you're not getting interview calls, what if you're unemployed right now, right? You will not be wanting top offs. You'll be okay. You'll be like, whatever CTC I get, I'm okay with that, right? Think of that, right? If you're going somewhere, who knows that what why they're hiring you? Are they hiring you to give you a permanent position, or are they hiring you because they are going to IPO in 3 months and they need someone to deal with some ad hoc tasks or something like that, right? So just be careful about that, I will say. And that's kind of my advice to you, right? But again, you're at a great place, I think. You're at
Okay.
Amazon
Yeah.
already, so
Sure.
um,
Thank you.
yeah. Yeah, Deepak.
Hey, hi Amit. So yeah, I have around 2.5 years of experience and like currently looking for a job switch, but like I'm feeling stuck in a loop, like struggling to decide what all areas should I focus on. Should it be DSA? Should it be system design or a specific technology? So
Okay.
yeah, that's what I am getting confused.
Okay. Um. uh, so I would say that so some people in my cohort had this issue. So I think the good idea is doing like a structured interview preparation, right? Take some time for DSA, take some time for system design. You can I put all my videos on YouTube, right? So you can get all that from there also. If you're an experienced, occasionally I take people in my cohort also, but that's not needed. You can just follow the YouTube and get try to do all those things that I'm doing, because the way I like to structure it is that in one session we try to do a lot of things like Apache Kafka, this that, and then once we go home we study and deep dive into those things, right? Sometimes we do Leaderboard as well. So I think that's a good roadmap that you will find, right? I hope that will be good for you, right?
Okay, and like I'm getting some calls from recruiters, but like after the recruiters reaching out to me, I'm like after listening to my expected CTC, like then I'm not getting any rewards. So like uh, maybe they are I would say like they are not giving me too much, or like
What are
the
they asking?
expectation. So like generally I'm asking for 30 to 40% rise.
Okay.
So maybe I'm losing some calls before because of that also.
Do you have a job right now?
Yeah, I have a job.
Okay. Is it like at a product-based company?
No, it's not a product based company.
Okay. So what number are you asking for, and for what year of experience?
So I have 2.5 years of experience and I am asking for 20 LPA, 19 to 20.
Yeah. So that's not an issue. The issue is that there are like good engineers in product-based companies that are unemployed right now, right? So you can understand that's kind of the situation in the market, right? um, I won't say that don't apply, right? Keep applying, keep revising, keep planning, right? But don't expect that you'll get a lot of calls, because the market is not in the state that it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that's the kind of advice I would give you. It's just the state of the market, right? Like I said, people. I'm working hard to get people in my cohort. There's one guy that just went to. Today I got his news that he's going to Europe to study his masters, and he got a full scholarship. And then one other person got placed into PAM systems, but I'm still not able to place someone in my cohort at a good product based company, like, right? So I've given them shout outs. I've taken I've called recruiters and stuff, and got interviews scheduled, but I've still not managed to get even one of them placed in a product based company. They are placement ready. They're good in DSA, system design, and all that, right? So that's what I would say. The market is not good right now, right? So yeah, I hope you understand.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Okay. JR, yeah. What's your question?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am a fresher
Okay.
and I am applying for a job for the past 6 months.
Okay.
And I did got a job in an small startup in February.
Okay.
And due to less salary, I decided to look for another job.
Okay.
But the issue is that I am not getting any interview calls. Even if I am getting interview call and clearing all that's around, they are kind of ghosting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
That,
so basically, what I'm asking is, let's say even I work for some, even consider free or some low wage, and if I switch to another company, will that be an issue?
you work for like
I,
free? What do you mean?
I mean, even if extremely low wage, I don't care. I want experience to switch to another company. That's what I'm looking for.
What experience do you need?
I mean, to switch to another company, I need an experience, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I want to get employed first. That's not the issue. I'm
But
not looking for
you
salary as
have
of
a
now.
job right now, right?
No, I'm not. I mean, they hired another guy actually.
Okay.
I decided to not proceed to go with the company.
Okay, okay, got it. For a fresher, I always say system design and DSA, right? Because you anyways be starting from scratch. So that's kind of I mean it's the same advice I'm giving everyone, right? So as a fresher, it's something that helps the most. You can learn web dev and stuff like that, right? If you are learning, pick one language, go very deep into it. Don't go to the surface level where everyone is, right? Because let's just say there's a lecture by Hitesh Chaudhary for a one-shot Golang that's 4 hours long. So in 4 hours you're learning Golang, you're building a full stack application, right? So don't be that 4 hour guy, right? Learn deep, go deep into memory management, go deep into how you're going to actually build an enterprise scale Golang application, right? If you're learning one language, right? Because the hiring manager in a product based company is going to ask you questions on that, right? Don't be at the surface level, and system design at DSA is what I would recommend. Just
Okay, I
be
have another, but just working for extreme low wage, kind of is experience considered as a
experience.
like hello?
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
mean, even in I don't care if even if I'm not getting any salary itself, I'm looking to get employed actually. That's
No, don't worry about that. Like I said, right? Just focus on system design, DSA, and all that, right? And then keep applying. Someone will eventually get back to you, give you the opportunity, right? So but your preparation needs to be spot on, right? There shouldn't be a gap there, right? um, and you can build applications yourself. It's not like you have to work for free for someone. You can build your own application if there is something that you are passionate about. You can build a small SaaS yourself. Like I personally had a lot of these ideas, right? Building a LinkedIn tool that could automate posts and stuff like that. Building so many SaaS ideas are there, and you can just think of it. Go to Reddit, you will see a lot of found. There's this one good way that you can get interview calls. Go to Reddit, go to our startups India. You'll see a lot of people post hiring requirements. You can directly talk to co-founders, get small gigs, get work with them. There are a lot of people who are doing it for free work, right? So if you can do well, you will make money, right?
okay. Thank
Okay,
you so much.
cool. Let's see, Sakshi.
Yeah, hi Ramit.
Hi, hi.
I have total 2.4 year experience and I got laid off from a company recently.
Okay,
I have applied so many companies but like not getting any calls.
okay,
So I have worked in Java domain like in my previous company, but now I have started learning like I want to switch in data engineer, so I have started learning some like Snowflake and SQL and other things. So what should I do?
um, like I can't give you advice like that. So like you are trying to switch to the domain also while not having a job, so that's going to be difficult, right? The focus should be first get a job and then decide to switch, right? So if you're good at Java, I would say for the moment try to get a bit more expertise in Java, right? I'm
Okay.
guessing the interviewer will ask you questions like he will try to go deeper into things, right? Thread pools and stuff like that, how to maintain concurrency. The thing is that again, the same advice that I will give everyone: if web dev is your main thing, don't go at the surface level, right? And take your DSA as a stepping stone, right? That's what I would say.
Okay, like but I have applied in Java also, but not getting any calls and
By
my
any
resume also not shortlisting.
Okay, by any calls, what do you mean? What number are you going for? Is it a perfect zero?
No, like I gave 2 interviews only for last 4 months.
Okay, that is not a good number. What CTC are you going for?
It's around 10 or 12.
Okay. There's something wrong with your resume, maybe. you can maybe you DM me your resume. Okay, I'll take a look. You probably have my and you see my number from the group. You DM me your resume. I'll give you some feedback on it. But
Can you put your number?
yeah. So but the main thing is we should be getting calls. I think things are so maybe you've worked on some outdated tech or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Still you should at least get 2 3 calls a week. You are HRs picking up your are HRs giving you calls?
No, I haven't. Like, I got only like 4 to 5 calls from HR only.
Last month how many calls you got?
Like from last 4 months, I got only 4 to 5 calls.
Last month how many you applied and how many calls you got?
Like daily, I have applied 50 jobs around, but I got only like from last month only one call I got from HR.
One call in the whole month.
Yes.
You're doing something wrong, dude. It's not that bad. I mean, uh, okay. Send me a resume. I'll take it a look and maybe I'll be able to say. I mean, it's not that bad. The market is not that bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not that bad. But okay. I'll see what advice I could give you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's your number? Like from where I have to send?
You're in those WhatsApp groups, right? You'll see I'm an admin there, so you'll find my number. Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Rohit.
Hello, sir. I'm 24 grade fresher, and I'm from Tier 2 or Tier 3 college, not sure. But I'm good in DSA, working uh, almost 2 years, and from EC background, and having good projects related to MERN stack and Spring Boot. And recently, I've done my internship from a good government industry, ISRO. But I have applied thousands of jobs. Uh, I don't know the number, and also I have some good connections and got referrals also. But I am not getting any rejection from there or acceptance later. Like, uh, and currently I am using hopes. I got some replies from startups. They gave me a assignment, and when I submit, they are they don't reply. Like,
Don't do assignments. Don't do assignments. They're just wasting time, right? Because the see no good person will ever submit assignments. Okay, I won't ever submit an assignment for a startup at least. I mean, for a good company, I will do, but not for a small Indian startup. I won't submit an assignment. Right, so they're just wasting your time. They're wasting their time. They're sending assignment to thousands of people, right? Trying to see something material comes out of it. It's just a waste of time. They're sending it to thousands of other students. Don't do that. Just focus on your placement strategy, right? Do DSIU system design. Since you are a 2024 grad, right?
yes. Like, it's 2 months already. I'm graduate now, and and very few openings. They are only hired 2024 grade. Like,
I get
currently,
it.
I'm getting any opportunity there. Like, everyone is hiring for 0 to 3 years, 0 to 2 years. So if someone will define like they are having 1+ year experience, then why they will hire us like freshers? So uh,
I told you, right? There's a girl that was laid off from Atlassian, and she got into LinkedIn, right? So don't say that people are not hiring. So hiring is going on. People are getting hired. Focus should be on the So companies are still hiring freshers. Obviously, it's fresher hiring is gone in a lot of companies, right? My work has slightly stopped fresher hiring because you know there are a lot of experienced engineers who are unemployed right now. The market is at its worst, but fresher hiring is still going on, right? Companies like Swiggy have reduced the community date every year for freshers and all. Startups are still hiring freshers. There are small founders who try this hack today. Try going to Startup India. There's a Reddit page, right? You'll see a lot of founders post their requirements, and try DMing some of them. Tell them that you would work for a very nominal fee, like 15,000-20,000 or something like that. And just get started somewhere, right? Then for your next job, you can tell people that I'm already working on a startup, stuff like that, right?
Okay.
Just yeah.
Actually, you told like your cousin is in MNC and he can directly push anyone's resume. So, like, which type of person like I can directly to reach out them that they can push my resume like this?
Why will someone push your resume if he doesn't know you, right?
Like they are engineering managers or like staff engineers SD3. Like, should I
Yeah, but
reach out to?
if they don't know you, why will they push your resume? That's the first question that you need to answer, right?
Oh,
There's you could I mean so like you could book a topmate session with those people, like every like someone that's working at a good position, right? Try to establish a relationship with them, right? That's kind of how you get into those circles, right? It's all about networking intelligently, right? I mean, there's not a lot you can do by on your own, right? Networks are everything. I mean, most positions are getting closed by internal referrals itself, right? You look at companies like Zomato; they don't even hire people instantly. So networking is everything.
yes.
Focus deep on that, right? Try to understand that there are other people in the market who are there are a lot of software devs in the market, right? How you can stand out among them, right? That's something that you need to figure out, right?
Okay.
I hope that answers your question. I hope that helps. Try that first. Try going on Angel List. Try going on Startup India. Start DMing founders, right? They will reply. I've seen them reply. So just be sure that your own system design basic skills are on point. Okay, Nitesh.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Ramit.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah. So I have few doubts. First one is that, as Rohit said, I am also a fresher,
Okay,
and I'm not getting any interview call.
okay.
So the first question is system design is required for fresher?
You should do it, I would say. Like, it gives you an edge, right, over others. It's all about having an edge in this market, right? What is something that that gives you an edge over other people, right? Because there are thousands of freshers. There are freshers with null code who are doing some code, right? You cannot beat them on lead code. So what is it that you can do, right? So I
Okay.
mean, you could ask the question. It's not necessary. It's necessary, right? But Salesforce asks system design question. Goldman Sachs asks system design for freshers, right? Blinkit asks system design. So you should have that edge. Is what I would say, right?
Okay. So currently I am unemployed. So rather than going to a full time offer in a startup, is it a right choice to do internship in that startup?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're unemployed, you should do what's good, right? I mean, whatever is the best opportunity that you can get at any given point in time, right? Just do it.
Okay. And the next question is may I send my resume to review to?
Okay, sure. I'll look into it. Maybe send it in the group also. There are other Like my own resume itself is not very good. Like once posted on LinkedIn. I'll show you something so you can see.
Yeah, please.
Posted on LinkedIn. It's called my resume. See, I posted this. Don't look at the top. But I posted my resumes. And see the amount of call that people give. Hi, I heard this kind of resume. So I'm not the best guy to do resume. I have a crap resume myself. So, but I don't believe resume matters because recruiters look over every resume. I don't believe in this ATS stuff like that. Because even if there are 1,000 applications that come in, right, recruiter is still looking at them. It's their job to look at them. So, at startup it's lesser. Yeah, I'm recording the whole session. I'll send you all of it.
Okay. And for a startup, if I'm targeting a startup, DSM matter most or month track? Like I'm doing month track, so it matter most.
Totally depends on the startup that you are targeting. Like if it's totally depends on the hiring manager that you are targeting. Like where that hiring manager is coming from. Is it coming from a service company? Is it coming from a startup? Is it master? And these are very different questions. You need to look into the glassroom and start.
Okay. And the last question is like, is the position of responsibility matters in the resume? Like I have some PRs, so should I mention it in the my resume or like it is okay to not mention that?
What position of responsibility?
Yes.
You can mention that in the to know how it matters. But yeah, definitely just try to see whatever things that are going to be like. That's something you should mention. Like if you did some leadership work, you can mention that, and that should get dismissed at least.
Okay. And in the resume, like rather than mentioning for project, if I mention to project with more details, so is it more beneficial than mentioning for project?
Yeah, don't mention to project. They'll probably look at the first experience first. Keep it short.
Okay, like so, like every fresher does like coping project from YouTube. So I did the same. So is there anything that I need to change? Like need to add some functionality in that project or like how to represent them in the interview?
I think to represent it like you did that, maybe you will be asked more questions on that if you need to answer that. But again, there is not a edge that you can get in that process. Every fresher will be having the same.
Okay, so two number of projects is okay in the resume.
Keep smaller projects, as you say, doesn't matter that much. Focus more on if once you get an interview, how are you going to crack it, right? You shouldn't be missing out at DSA or system design and stuff like that. You should be coding it. That's the kind of focus. Yeah, Miss Candy, what do you do?
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you had some questions. Okay, I'll just answer Muskan and get back to you. Hey, Muskan.
Hello,
Yeah,
am I audible?
yeah, you're audible.
Okay, so I am also a 2024 graduate. So I started working at a company in June. So till now it has been about 1.5 months I've been there, but till now I haven't done anything really significant that I can mention as an experience in my resume. So I have asked many people that whether should I mention that I have that I have a certain experience as a full time because I don't know what will I write in the experience section of it. So should I mention it or should I not? Like, I'm also trying to apply for bigger product-based companies if any fresher hiring comes for their from their portal. So should I mention in my resume that I am working somewhere, but I don't know what to write it in there?
Yeah, I mean, you can mention that. That's not an issue. Um, can't give a lot of advice on that, right? Like what you should do, what you shouldn't do, right? That's something you can, like, I'll just say that be good at DSA system design and stuff. I mean, I'll just give you the generic advice. Um, you can just see for yourself what gets you better calls, mentioning or not mentioning. But yeah, freshers do mention that in their resume. Not an issue. Like you might be not happy with your existing job and want to switch, right? So that's not an issue, right?
So, so mentioning it does not give me any disadvantage. That is what you're saying.
Yeah, it shouldn't give you a disadvantage. The main disadvantage is I mean, there's not going to be a lot of pressure hiring that's going on, right? So like in this market, I think that you should try staying at your current company for 2 years. But if you want to switch, like if you're able to get opportunities, don't say no. Definitely keep interviewing, like wherever you get. I hope you're getting enough calls and everything, right? But yeah, you should totally mention that.
So what should be the minimum time I should stay in a company, in my first company? Also, this is my campus placement.
Yeah, there's no minimum time. If you're getting a good opportunity, you can switch, right? But just be careful a bit while switching, right? Because under 1 year of experience, if something happens, if you're going for a very small startup or like a pre-IPO, if for some reason you get laid off, right, it's going to be very very difficult right now, because I mean you can see like how things are for 2-3 years of
Mm-hmm.
experienced people, right? They are people are fighting for a job right now. They are not fighting for salary anymore. So I mean, um, there are good people who are getting interview calls. It's not like people are not getting calls, but a lot of people are fighting for jobs right now. So I mean, it's better to be very safe in this market.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. Yeah. Okay. I guess if no one else has any questions, no one else has any questions, right? Okay, then I hope this session was nice. I mean, maybe drop a review on topmate or something, right? I hope you guys will just maybe do a thumbs up if it was good, right? Okay. Okay, cool. I'm dropping off then. Bye, guys. Okay, thanks.